Hi everyone, Father Lamb here. It's Wednesday, July 28th. A couple quick announcements. We have our festival coming up August 8th. Please join us for some great food and fun. And secondly, you may have heard we're looking for a organist and a choir director. If you know anyone who's interested, please have them give me a call sometime at the rectory. So today, actually, I want to focus on tomorrow, the 29th, which is actually the feast of St. Martha. But our Holy Father, Pope Francis, has actually interjected two more saints into this feast day. So now it'll no longer just be the feast day of St. Martha. It's actually the feast day of Martha, Mary, and Lazarus. As you may know, they were all siblings, and they're all very, very close to Jesus. And Lazarus is the one that Jesus, resuscitated and rose from the dead after he was dead for 3 days. You might think, wow, that's really cool. And in a way it is, but how would you like to have to die twice? Poor Lazarus. It's like, Jesus, thank you, but now I got to go through this again, Kind of hard enough just dying one time, But the point would be that these three people had, they were siblings and they were very close to Jesus. And I want to share with you one of my favorite passages about them. This comes to us from Luke's Gospel, chapter 10. As they continued their journey, he entered a village where a woman whose name was Martha welcomed him. She had a sister named Mary who sat beside the Lord at his feet, listening to him speak. Martha, burdened with much serving, came to him and said, Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me by myself to do the serving? Tell her to help me. The Lord said to her in reply, Martha, Martha, you're anxious and worried about many things. There is need of only one thing. Mary has chosen the better part, and it will not be taken from her. Here you have two sisters. It's almost like this little rivalry. Jesus comes in, or other people with him. Mary sits down at his feet and is listening to him. Martha is worried about the food and the drink and giving things to people. And Jesus, tell my sister to help me, Maybe it's even surprising what Jesus says. Maybe we expect Jesus to go, yeah, you better help out. No. Martha, Martha, you're anxious and upset about many things. Mary has chosen the better part. And what's the better part? Sitting at the feet of Jesus and listening. The monks, they really teach us, especially coming from St. Benedict and the Benedictine rule, teaches about ora et labora, which is Latin for prayer and work. And that is really the whole life of a monk, prayer and work, and getting that balance. And I think for most of us, we err way on the side of too much work and not enough prayer. But even to ask the question beyond how balanced or imbalanced my life is between prayer and work, does my work come from a prayerful center? Because if our work doesn't come from a prayerful center, a Christ center, then we're just out there trying to get things done and maybe bowling people over. What we really need to do is get in touch with Christ within us and allow that presence of Jesus to kind of lead us in our work. There's an old Hasidic story about a rabbi who you might know that in the outskirts of some of the cities, some people lived, just outside of town. If they had enough money, they would basically hire watchmen to watch over their property, kind of like security guards today. So this one rabbi was walking one evening like he normally did in his little town, and he noticed one of these watchmen. And he asked him, for whom do you work? And the man told him who he worked for. And then the watchman asked the rabbi, for whom do you work? And that struck him to the core, right to his heart. And then he said to the watchman, I'm not sure who I work for. And then they walked along together in silence for a little while. And then the rabbi asked the watchman, would you come work for me? The watchman got all excited. Sure, I'd love to work for you, but what would be my duties? And the rabbi said to him, just to remind me of that question you just asked me, for whom do I work? Like that rabbi, we all have to ask that question, for whom do I work? Do I work really for my employer, for my family, for myself, or do I really work for God? Do the things that I do in my life come from a God center, ora et labora, prayer and work? Maybe this week you and I could just take a look inside our hearts and see how balanced our lives are and try to balance them a little bit better. And yes, maybe we do work more than we pray, but does our work come from a prayerful center? And as we do our work, are we aware of the presence of God that's right in us and all around us? For whom do you work? God bless you.